Welcome back to My Free Life. Frequent viewers and passerbyers, don't be scared to hit that like and go on hit that subscribe, hit those notifications, be part of this free life squad. Now, let's jump into this. This is Sax Williams reporting from My Free Life News. As you can see, the chaos has started. Nobody knows exactly what to do or where to go. Part 1, Unexplained.
I just got back from Miami, like this morning, and I was over there when all that shit went down at the mall, and there was some stuff going on. Yeah, there was some teenagers involved, and I'll tell you that because I was there. I'll break it down to you as far as like what went down and stuff like that. But there was a bunch of teens, right? And they had some little fucking little like a radio, like a little DVD player. They were fucking around with it. They were like, yeah, watch this. And then I'll show you. Watch, let me flip this shit. Show you exactly what's going on. Okay, I was in Miami because I was on a little graffiti expo and shit. So I was over there because dudes had me over there so I can go paint, right? So I was hanging around with my mans, and then we went to the mall just to see what's up. So this is what happened. This is what happened. This is what I'll draw you what can happen. This is what happened. Okay, there's a whole bunch of teens, right? A whole bunch of teens, and they had this little fucking box, like a little DVD player type thing, right? And they were like, yeah, watch, go ahead. And there was a whole bunch of them. They looked all nerdy. They weren't like thugged out. They all dressed nice and shit or whatever, but they were just right there, combo and shit. And a lot of them had like backpacks, and some of them had like weird ass glasses, like welding glasses. And I was like, what the fuck? And the other guy was like, just go ahead and plug it in. We're right here, we're safe, and so somebody plugged this shit in, and it started flickering, right? Because there was a column right here. I was over here on the top. I was up here on the top of the level. They were down here, and I was watching them from over here. Okay? So this shit started flickering, and it was flicking the rows of lights right here. All these lights were flickering. Then it started popping. When it started popping, everybody from over here started running this way to see, because everybody was nosy. And as soon as it started popping, this thing started glowing, and it started going like a force field. Woo, 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 woo. And everybody that was behind this, that I was seeing, everybody looked like this. Like digital. Like it was being disrupted by the wave. Only right here. Not right here. Everything else was still flickering. Right here was still popping. People were running. As soon as they got close and they see how this thing was moving, everybody started going this way. When they started going this way, these guys started backing up, because from this, it started glowing, and it looked like somebody put a foot out like that. And then somebody put a hand out like that, and then all you see was this. All you see was like this, an image like that. That's all I seen. This was all glowing, so it was bright. This was the dark thing that I thought I seen come out. It looked like that. That's what came out. I was right here looking. It was me and 4 other dudes. 2 other guys ran over here and started filming. I'm waiting for them to give me the footage. But they say they got this thing coming out, and it didn't look like somebody. It looked more like everything got disrupted and was all wavy, and it did that effect. That's what it looked like to me. I'm a graffiti artist. I can do all kinds of shit with a spray paint can and make shit look like, whatever. But, when you get a mirror and bend it and all kind of crazy shit, or, the sounds and whatever shit they got going on. But yeah, man, I seen this. This is what I seen. And it looked like it was coming out of this. And it's because whatever little box they had was bright and almost like one of those military flashlights that they were trying to plug up, but it had like a horn to it, because it was like, And all this was like disrupting and this shit right here was popping, you know, all this right here was popping. But this is what I seen. This is what I seen come out. And everybody's taking off, screaming like, oh my God, look at that. Everybody's turned around and looked back to see this. And they were like, oh my God, and running. And at that point, this shit already fell and broke. And we were still right here walking this way because somebody started shooting from over here. Because we've seen lights, like 2 or 3 lights, and then the dudes that are right here, because those people right here looking, they took off this way. That's what I seen.
Very interesting story, and quite an elaborate lie if the man is lying. I mean, the man even tried to pull out some pens and pencils and markers and all that artistic stuff to try to explain what was going on. So there's a little validity in that with me. Not quite sure, but let's check out what this next person got to say about that situation there in Miami. If you're enjoying the content I bring to the table, please don't be too shy to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit those notifications, and be part of this Free Life Squad. I bring videos like this multiple times a week. Thank you.
How have I not heard about this? My dad's a police officer in Miami, and I mean, like, he's even running for sheriff, and I just talked to him. He didn't say anything about that. Hey, did you, have you been seeing the alien stuff? Did you see that at Bayside? Are you serious? You're joking. You're joking. Did they tell you not to talk about it?
How many times do you want me to slice the pie? I'm not allowed to know about it.
What?
I do know what you're talking about, but I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Can you at least say, like, whatever? So they're saying it's like a fight broke out. Why did they send so many police cars? Are you serious? You can't say anything?
I don't know what else you want me to say.
You're no help, dude.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm going to have to say the validity of this here clip is suspect. For one, bro, obviously your dad don't tell you nothing because he can't trust you. The proof is in the pudding. You got a secret camera set up to catch this conversation with your father that could cost him his career and possibly even jail time if he was on an NDA, and especially with the government, and decided to talk about what was going on to what he thought he could trust, who he thought he could trust, his son, and you post that shit all over social media. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, boy. But thanks for the video. 61 amazing photos of Beyond the Ice Walls, taken in 1912 by Robert Scott. These photos were taken 37 years before the signing of the Antarctic Treaty, which stops us from being able to go there. you ask me, those were absolutely fascinating photos. And if these really were taken in 1912 and before the Antarctic Treaty, this is pure evidence of incredible intelligence and archaeological finds and architecture and sculptures and things of this nature. I mean, you had everything in that, from the pillars to the buildings to the sculptures. That was very fascinating to me. And I would really love one day to find out what's really going on in Antarctica.
Oh no, she's going over there.
Oh, did you see that?
Did you see that? Wow.
Did you see that?
I seen it. Yeah, that was a big flash. I thought that was a torch.
That was one thing I didn't see in my whole life.
Wow.
Make a wish, quick, make a wish.
I hope we got that on camera.
So I found this clip very interesting. But what they failed to point out, so they zoomed in and they showed these two little spherical looking objects that they highlighted and circled on this clip. But they didn't even mention, the first thing that I noticed is after the explosion, something else came flying out of that. They didn't highlight it, they didn't cover it, nothing. But I think they might have missed that. But that's what I find the most fascinating out of that. But anyway, pretty interesting clip. Unexplained, y'all. Let's go.
11/20/23. It's about a half hour after sunset. I was looking at these harp clouds, but I thought you'd much rather see the moon is out and there's the light I see at night. Look at that. See that above it? Right there? Harp clouds. Moon and red spot.
Indeed, indeed. Harp clouds, weather modification. But what really gets me is that I've been seeing this same thing he's talking about right here that he's shown in his video with this red half an hour or more after sunset. This red, well, I mean, I call it a sunset, but it's not sunset because the sun's done been set and the moon's all the way up. But I've been seeing this here in Austin lately, probably the last month and a half. Pretty crazy. I would really like to know what's going on there, but I don't think we're meant to know just yet, but we will find out.
A warning just came in about the Mount Shasta area and pale crawlers. Please pay attention. User David comments, I went to Bernie Falls. A hiker warned me about these at Mount Shasta. I then replied, can you share his warning? And David definitely shared. He goes on to say, long story short, he and two others did a day trip to Helen Lake. There's a private property in the wilderness where Bunny Flat Trail goes through. Well, I immediately asked, well, what's on the private property? Because that got my interest. David continues, they all felt like they were being watched, and everything went silent late in the evening. They looked over at a tree line and saw a lizard-like creature there. They all were in shock and tried to hurry back to the trail, but the creature was stalking them through the trees. As soon as they got out of that private land, they stopped seeing the creature. He just warned me about the area and hasn't gone back ever since.
So I'm not real familiar with this Mount Shasta thing, what's going on, but I do know that in these different parks, like national parks, a lot of strange stuff happens. From people coming up missing to people witnessing anything from skinwalkers to all these other different types of entities. So a channel I follow, it's an audio channel. But a channel I follow, you can find it on YouTube, but it's all audio. You just listen to it, tell stories. It's Donovan Dread, and it's an amazing channel. If you've never heard of Donovan Dread, you should definitely check it out. Like, I go to sleep to that a lot. I just listen to it, put it in the background and listen to it, to his stories, because his stories are people writing into him, telling them their experiences. And like 80-90% of these people are to-do, respected people. Like, they're park rangers, forest rangers, police, sheriffs, things like that. People that you can, well, not that I trust all police, but in this instance, absolutely. These stories are very, very, very intriguing, and you should check them out. Again, that's Donovan Dread. Go check that channel out. It's amazing.
Starting to regret that I stopped at this rest stop.
Now, I ain't got a damn clue what a Sasquatch sounds like, but if I had to make it up, that would probably be it. And not to mention, I have never in my life seen bears run in a pack like that. Hell, I don't know that I've ever seen more than 2 bears in a pack. And usually if I see those 2 bears, they're fighting each other. Definitely not strolling along the old trail trying to 86 themselves up out of whatever situation. But I have to say to the cameraman, you were bold SOB, because ain't no way in HELL I still be standing there. I tell you what, you crazy. But thank you for the footage. Let's roll. If you're enjoying the content I bring to the table, please don't be too shy to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit those notifications, and be part of this Free Life Squad. I bring videos like this multiple times a week. Thank you.
Everyone's talking about the earthquakes in Japan, but take a look at this. This is the last 48 hours, all the seismic waves on this earth. Why is no one talking about this? Here's some videos from Japan and the earthquakes that hit on January 1st, 2024. This is the end times that we're living in right now. This is one of the greatest moments to be alive. A new island's coming up after a volcano.
Yeah, volcano.
It's absolutely insane. And let's not forget to mention that the weather is completely different all over the United States right now. Once again, look at what's going on. Nobody's going to talk about this. I want you guys to open up your eyes and open up your heart. And this is not a scare tactic. This is showing you what's going on right now. And I'm crying out from the rooftops, believe in Jesus. He is the only way.
Yeah, the weather is crazy all the way around. And these earthquakes all the way around. It is very interesting. You know, they used to try to blame that on fracking. Just fracking, you know, for oil. But it's in places where they ain't even heard of fracking going on all over the globe. So there's definitely a shift coming. There's a shift happening. That things are changing. There's no doubt about that. All the stuff going on in our night skies, even our daytime skies, it's unarguable against. You can't have an opposing side to the fact that things are changing right now. It's clear things are changing. Now, what those things are, I don't know. That's what we're doing here, trying to figure that stuff out, right? Together. Let's go.
Nostradamus, predicted some very scary things to happen in 2024. He is a renowned French astrologer and seer from the 1600s, and he's predicted many historical events, okay? Things that have come true many times in history.
Okay.
For 2024, he's predicted the death of a very, very important person. Some people think this could be the Pope. He's had a lot of health issues. He's in his mid-80s, I think, or late 80s. So they're thinking it could be him. He also predicted there will be a new world war, which obviously we hope is not going to happen, but doesn't seem too far off, right? State of the world right now. And he predicted there will be a strong and life-ending earthquake followed by a tsunami, which just happened on January 1st in Japan.
I know.
Literally the year started off with that. I don't know if Nostradamus knows what's going on, but that's his predictions.
Nostradamus. M.F. and Nostradamus. The man has predicted some pretty serious stuff when he's well into his predictions of 2024, kind of hitting the nail on the head. But this girl is still pretty naive to what's going on because she still kind of don't really got the judgment going on too good. Talking about somebody famous. That's pretty bold and just a generic statement. I mean, you could be talking about Trump, you could be talking about Biden, talking about the Pope, talking about whatever you want, but I think this girl's just now trying to get into what she's getting into and don't really know what she's talking about. Clearly not. She's too young to really understand. She ain't lived a life yet, but she getting it and she working on it. So kudos, girl. Keep it going.
2024 is cursed. You heard it right. While everyone is looking forward to the happiness this year will bring, there are some people that have already predicted it being hexed with a lot of terrible events. A scientist named David Ross 3 months ago predicted that this coming year is going to be one of the darkest years in the history of mankind. David claimed that there will be an earthquake in the first week of January 2024 in a country from the Asian subcontinent. Now you might have heard the news about Japan having one of the deadliest earthquakes ever on the 1st of January. But here's the horrifying part. David also predicted that the magnitude of this earthquake would be around 7, and it will kill more than 50 people. The earthquake that has recently happened yesterday has a magnitude of 7.6, and until today there are almost 50 people that have died. Can this be a coincidence? You might think yes, but what I'm about to share now will blow your mind. David also allegedly said that an airplane will crash on the runway of the biggest airports of this country, but there's nothing to worry about. Everyone will make out alive. This is crazy because just 6 hours ago a plane crashed on the runway of Tokyo's Haneda Airport, and everyone got out safe with the pilot saying they've just witnessed a miracle. What's happening? David made 3 more major predictions for 2024, but he went missing just 2 days after he posted these predictions on TikTok. Officials have also taken down his account. Good thing is we've got a hold of these predictions from our sources, and we're gonna post those really soon on our page. Follow to watch those videos as they might get taken down soon after being posted, and comment David Ross so we can send you a copy of his TikTok video. If you don't get it, that means you're flagged and you're being observed by some people in charge.
So this lady here, what's going on? I just shut the volume off because of a strike, copyright strike. But she heard these cats out here arguing in front of her house. So she videotaped it, the little cat fight. And she's like, okay, well, I'm going to go outside and see what's going on, la-da-dee, la-da-da. So she rolls outside with her little video camera. She's going out here checking out what's going on. And she's like, oh. She's hearing noises because there's noises in the background, but I obviously can't play that audio. But check out the shadow behind the car when she pans back up where the finger is. Looks like a cat turns into a person's shape, and then that person starts walking away. Now, this lady in this original clip, which I would have played the original clip if it wasn't for the music in the background, but she's tripping. She's like, what in the world is going on? Did that just turn into a human being and walked away? This dude got a moving tail and some goat hooves. I don't know. That's crazy. So that deer definitely looked like it was right in the middle of shape shifting when it realized it was getting caught on camera and stopped, because that thing extended an extra foot. Like the body mass shrunk in, the length of it extended like that. I don't know. I'm no deer expert, but my spidey senses says that's all wrong. If you're enjoying the content I bring to the table, please don't be too shy to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit those notifications, and be part of this Free Life Squad. I bring videos like this multiple times a week. Thank you. Part 2, the Mandela Effect.
Firstly, many people remember Mona Lisa having a blank expression. However, in this famous painting, she's been smiling the whole time. Next, in the famous movie E.T., he says the line, "E.T. phone home." However, he never said that, and he really said this. E.T. home phone. Now, everyone can agree that Mickey Mouse wore suspenders, right? I mean, it just looks more accurate. But it looks like my childhood was a lie, because throughout all of the episodes, he was never seen wearing suspenders. And finally, we all remember the famous Queen song, "We Are the Champions," right? And it ends by saying, "We are the champions of the world." However, I don't know why we think of this, but it never says "of the world," it just ends.
Now, damn it, I don't care who you are. E.T. said phone home, Mickey Mouse has suspenders, and Queen definitely ended with "We are champions of the world." Of the world. All right? Of the world.
First is the thinker statue. When you think of the thinker statue, most people think he has a closed fist going like this, but in reality, he's always had an open fist. His hand is like this, not a closed fist. Next is Shaggy's Adam apple. Most people remember Shaggy having a very pronounced Adam's apple, but he's actually never had one. And some people attribute this to sometimes it looks like this when he's swallowing, but not very often. So we've all seen the "what if I told you" meme, right? Well, in the Matrix, Morpheus never says "what if I told you." And he actually never says it in any part of the trilogy as well, despite all the memes.
I'm not sure about the thinker, but Shaggy absolutely had an Adam's apple. Every single memory I got of that cartoon, he got an Adam's apple. Go on somewhere with that. Adam's apple, faux show.
Next is this candy, Mike and Ike's. Most people remember it being called Mike and Ike's, not Mike and Ike's.
Y'all, Mike and Ike's was my favorite candy as a kid. And it absolutely said Mike and Ike's. Absolutely.
So we all ate these pizza rolls growing up. What are they called? Tostino's pizza rolls? Wrong. It's Totino's pizza rolls.
Daisy, Daisy,
give me your answer, do.
I'm half crazy.
All for the love of you.
Here are some Mandela effects that make you question reality. So a lot of people remember the peace sign looking like this, and this is why so many people hold their two fingers up to show the sign of peace. But in fact, it was always facing down like this. I know, creepy. As for this next one, so you remember the book, The Diary of Anne Frank? Well, it was never actually called The Diary of Anne Frank, it was called The Diary of a Young Girl. No matter what anybody says, this does not make sense, and no way this was the real thing. And lastly, so you remember in Dora the Explorer, you remember Benny, so which image do you think is the correct version of Benny? The one with the nose ring or without the nose ring? If you said the one without the nose ring, you would be correct, but many other people remember him having a nose ring, and it's just weird to see that he never did. What are some creepy Mandela effects that you know that would 100% blow my mind?
Curious George had a damn tail. I don't care what y'all say. As far as I can remember, the peace sign always faced down, but that's just my memory. Let me know what y'all remember on that. And as far as the Diary of Anne Frank, well, I don't know what that is, so I got no comment. And I'm way beyond the Dora Explorer days, so I don't know who the hell Benny is, so you let me know if that person has some piercings or not. I don't know.
Here are some Mandela effects that will make you question reality. Okay, firstly, this one has me shook. There was never a Disney intro where Tinkerbell dotted the I with her wand.
Y'all can get the hell out of here with that. Tinkerbell definitely dotted the Disney with a wand. The I. Psh, I got very, very, very vivid memories of that. Psh, psh, psh. I, wand, I, quit lying.
Everybody remembers that scene in Star Wars where Darth Vader tells Luke, I am your father, right? Well, he actually never said that. He said this.
No, I am your father.
Darth Vader definitely said, Luke, I am your father.
Okay, now, for my entire life, I thought there was an emoji for flip-flops, but in all reality, there was never one. Go ahead, try to find it. Since we're talking about emojis, do you guys remember this emoji? Well, it never existed. Okay, this is freaky. Which box looks right to you? Well, if you picked Cheez-It, that's correct. It's never been called Cheez-Its.
I never use emojis, never did, so I got no comment. Y'all best get off my Cheez-Its. That was definitely Cheez-Its. I'll eat the Cheez-It. But since it's not plural anymore, I guess I'm getting less, which we are, because we're getting a bunch of air in them boxes. But it was always Cheez-Its. Shut up.
Do you remember when Snow White said mirror, mirror on the wall? Well, she never actually said that. She said magic mirror on the wall.
And growing up as kids, we didn't just use mirror, mirror on the wall for our little fake incantations, however the hell you say that. We didn't just say that all the time because we got it from nowhere. We got it because it said mirror, mirror on the wall. So shut up.
And finally, it's never been called Jiffy Peanut Butter. It's always been called Jif. Which Mandela Effect shocked you guys the most?
Now, when it comes to this peanut butter thing, you talking to a poor, broke MFer my whole life. It's always been Jiffy, because Jiffy's what I ate 99% of the time on some crackers. When I got lucky, we get some sardines in the mix and have a little meat. It's Jiffy. Now, it's hard to admit this. I'm kind of ashamed because Fruit Loops was my thing. But I always thought it was Fruity Loops. But my memory's not vivid enough for me to call that one way or another. But I know that I always loved Fruity Loops because I remember I loved Fruity Loops so much because we was always poor, so we always got the cheap stuff. It would be some knockoff brand, you know what I mean? It'd be called like some Fruit Rounds or something like that in a big, clear, see-through package. You know damn well it's the cheapest stuff you can get. But when we could get the Fruity Loops, I thought, man, was we happy because it had more sugar in it, I think. I don't know what it was, but it was just better. But I don't know. Y'all tell me.
Mandela effects that will make you question your reality. Firstly, I'm sure most of us remember Pikachu having black on the tip of his tail, but Pikachu has never had that. He's only had brown on the base of it. Many iPhone users remember there being a robber emoji with a black beanie and a money bag thrown over his shoulder, but this emoji has never existed. Most people remember the Fruit of the Loom logo looking like this, but it's actually never had a cornucopia. But even the original artist says he remembers drawing it with one. There was never a Disney intro where Tinkerbell dotted the eye with her wand. There's been intros with Tinkerbell, but she's never actually dotted the eye. Lastly, everyone seems to remember the Monopoly Man having a monocle, but he's never actually worn one.
Now, this is where I draw the absolute line on this Mandela effect. The Monopoly Man absolutely had a monocle. Absolutely. There is nothing. You can twist my brain, you can play with my emotions, you can mess with me on my Fruity Loops, but there's nothing you can say that's gonna tell me that dude didn't have a single eyepiece. He absolutely always did. That's the only way that I remember the Monopoly Man. Shut up.
Let's explore the World Trade Center Twin Towers. On that tragic day when the Twin Towers came down, do you remember a building in front of the Twin Towers, directly in front? Was there, number one, a Marriott hotel in front of them? 2, a Starbucks in front of them? 3, an FAO Schwartz in front? 4, a welcoming center building? Or 5, no building at all? What do you remember? The answer is 1, Marriott Hotel. Wow, that's bats in the belfry.
Now, although 9/11 was very prominent in my mind, because I remember that day very much, I was in jail. That was the day I was getting out of jail, was on 9/11. All right, that very day. And it came all over the news. And I remember this like it was yesterday because it scared me to death because I thought, man, they're not going to let me out of jail today because of what's going on, because it was so chaotic. Even though I was in Kansas, Winfield, Kansas, in the county jail, I was like, I'm stuck. They're not going to let me out. That day will never, ever, ever, ever cease to not be in my memory because it had me scared to death I was not going to get released. Now, with that being said, I have absolutely no idea about the New York layout. So I can't tell you if there were supposed to be buildings in front of it or not. So some of you New Yorkers, some people from the East Coast, or some people that have visited there, let me know in the comments because I have no idea. I have no memory one way or another. Let me know what y'all remember. Please. Thank you.
Mandela effects that upset me the most. This timeline really did the Monopoly Man dirty because they took away his monocle. I'd give anything for a box of Cheez-Its, but since they don't exist, I'll settle for the real deal, which is a box of Cheez-It. Smokey the Bear wants to keep the world from burning down. Wrong, his name's actually Smokey Bear. Luke, I am your father. Wrong. It's no, I am your father. I love Febreze as much as the next gal, but if you want to be in this timeline, you have to take out one of the E's. I know what a cornucopia is because when I was younger, I was shopping with my mom at JCPenney and I asked her what was on the Fruit of the Loom logo and she said it was a cornucopia, and I'm so grateful for my incredible imagination for making up the cornucopia that has never existed in the Fruit of the Loom logo. I've always loved the Laughing Cow's nose ring until I found out it doesn't exist. Another style I truly admired was that of the Raisin Bran sun, especially the sunglasses, which I apparently made up. I love Jiffy peanut butter, even though the company is trying to gaslight me into believing that it's always been called Jif. Iconic, iconic, iconic. Too bad the microphone was never a part of the iconic-y. Loved when Curious George would swing around from his tail, except for that he never had one. That's okay, because Mickey Mouse has had a tail all along. What he never had, however, was suspenders, which is odd since I have memories of him snapping them while driving the boat. Attempting to get to the bottom of Mandela Effects. Fruit of the Loom has made multiple public statements saying the cornucopia was never a part of their logo. After scouring the internet for hours, I finally found a picture of the logo with the cornucopia in it. People argue that someone handmade this for attention, but why does the cornucopia look exactly how I remember it? People argue that if the cornucopia was real, there would still be thousands, if not millions, of garments that still have the logo. So why can I only find one image of the logo? I'm so lost on this one because theoretically a company could scrub the internet of their logo, but it's not like they could have gotten into all of our underwear drawers and changed the logo on our underwear. Next up, we have the Raisin Bran son, who people claim should be wearing sunglasses, but after going through every single logo in existence, I could not find it. People argue that we're confused and the sunglasses only made an appearance in one commercial, but after searching everywhere for the commercial, I can find no evidence of it. Another argument is that we're confusing it with the California raisin sunglasses, but no. I imagine the sun wearing sunglasses. This is what it looks like, not like the raisins.
I'm going to do pretty much no commentary after this girl because she is a beast. Do not get on her bad side because this chick is a beast and she will dig it up. She will find out and she will make sure she brings it to the light. I love this chick. If y'all ain't never checked this chick out, she on TikTok, her TikTok handle is, dropping dimes or digging dimes. I got it written down somewhere. Y'all need to know this. Dime lifting, D-I-M-E lifting, dime lifting. You need to find that chick out because she is pimp. Logamos, quit barking. I'm editing here. Hey, stop. My bad, y'all. But anyway, it is dime lifting. This chick is a beast. Go follow her. Part 3. Glitch in the Matrix. Glitch in the Matrix. Glitch in the Matrix. Glitch in the Matrix. Now, y'all are going to have to help me out because I watched this clip, I don't know, a dozen, 15, 20, 30 times. Where did those people come from? I tried everything I could do to debunk this one, but I don't know where those people came from because there was no angle I seen that those people could have came from. Between underneath the chick's arms, walking, I was looking through the cracks, the crevices, the before, the after. I don't know. This is a hard one for me. Let me know what y'all think. Help me debunk this, because as of right now, it's pretty valid to me.
I hope it does it again. Okay, this message. Please go in contact with the Time Council. Tear down the flip when it's filing me. Class 65. Am I tripping right now? Oh, what is happening?
Now, if y'all didn't catch it, this was a weird radio interference that was glitching in on her radio, but it was saying stuff like, we out of time, and just weird things like, some people speculate that it's like time travelers that are getting stuck in time and trying to get the rest of them to a certain point in time so they can get back where they're going. I don't know. There's a whole lot of theories going on with this one, but it was pretty interesting, so I wanted to put it in there. But yeah, that's what's going on. Apparently, this is a live news broadcast where this footage was captured from. Now, I have no way to validate that. I have no idea if it was really live or not. I mean, come on now. CGI editing. I do editing myself. I ain't that good, but, you know, I do what I can do sitting here in my little bedroom on my desk and do what I can do. But this is pretty compelling and pretty interesting, to say the least. But that's what's going on with this little news clip. Now, did y'all see the bird? It was like suspended in time, not moving, no motion, no wings flapping, no going up, no going down, no going left, no going right, just still like a stuck pig in the middle of nothing, and then all of a sudden start flying again. This clip did kind of throw me for a loop. Y'all gotta let me know what you think on that, though. Now, maybe I'm just tripping, but did that cat just manifest up out the wall, run around with his tail wagging, and then go back into the wall? I don't know. I apologize, my Free Life Squad. Apparently, I got that clip in here twice. Moving on.
Juramento que ellos están confirmando que no van a ser partidistas.
Again, this clip here was supposed to be during a live broadcast, but I did slow down many times to watch the dude walking through the little time portal hole. And it seems to me CGI, because what I think I see is, have y'all ever seen those mosquito nets like you could put on your back porch or whatever? They got magnets on them. You walk through it and the net automatically closes because all the magnets come to each other. You know what I'm saying? They attract each other, so it just so you walk through, the net shuts, but all the magnets hit and it closes. It almost looks like that to me. And when I zoomed in, I almost feel like I could even see little spots, little circle spots that would be magnets closing in. So I almost feel like this is just some CGI somebody did. They walked through with maybe a green netting or not even netting. They just probably pure green screen sheeting with that same magnet situation to make that close again. I don't know. This is just me trying to think critically, but I call shenanigans on this one, but it's still pretty interesting. Let me know what you think.
So what happened was I bought 2 water bottles like this. I have a little basket. I put both of the water bottles in. They were ice cold, like right out of the fridge. I opened it up and I started chugging it. Put the cap back on, set it back into my stroller, wiped my mouth because I had hella water dripping off my chin. And I'm here with like my mom and my kids, my husband, and my daughter comes out and she's like, you guys didn't pay for my stuff. So everyone starts freaking out, like, you know, she's having like a whole little fit. I go to take another drink. I reach to grab my water and I notice that it's full still. So I grab the other water and I notice that it's full. So I'm thinking maybe the pressure from like the heat and it being open, maybe it kind of like suctioned back up and looked full. So I start trying to twist the caps open. They're both fucking sealed. I'm in absolute disbelief. So I'm thinking maybe my husband bought the same water and he took mine because it was opened already and he was just gonna like share with me. I don't like sharing drinks and I'm hella frustrated with him. So when he came out the store, I was like, give me back my water, fool. Don't be drinking on my water like that. He was like, I don't even have a water. Like, I got a candy bar. I'm like, dude, what the I'm in full-blown panic right now. And I'm like, did anybody see me drink water? Did I actually drink water? And my mom's like, yeah, you were chugging that water. Everybody saw me drinking the water. My mouth was fucking cold. I wiped the water from my chin. Like, I know that I opened the water bottle. I just don't understand what happened, how that happened. It was fucking crazy.
I promise this girl ain't tripping, because I know I've gone through some things like this where you're just like, damn, didn't I already open this? Or didn't I already cut this? Just something that makes you feel some kind of way, like, am I not doing what I already did? You know what I mean? I don't know, but this seemed like a glitch in the matrix to me.
Now, I held on to those prayer cards and the cremated remains for about 2 months, until last week, on Friday, when the family called because they wanted to pick them up. So they come in, they pick them up. I'm like, oh, when are you having your service? They said they're going to do something on Sunday, which is in 2 days. I was like, oh, that's really nice. Where are you having it? They were like, we haven't decided it yet. Now Monday rolls around. Okay, so that was Friday. Now we're on Monday. And I get a message from a restaurant who had called, and they were asking why we mailed them prayer cards. I call them back. I'm like, why do you think I mailed you prayer cards? She was like, because your ad is on them. You know, we put the funeral home ad on the prayer cards. I was like, no, I didn't mail you anything. What is the return address on the envelope? She said there was none. I'm like, well, that's weird. I don't know. So what is the name of the deceased? You know, she says Aunt Ida. I was like, well, that's weird. I was like, I gave the family those cards on Friday. Later that day, I get a phone call from the daughter of Aunt Ida. She's like, Melissa, why did you mail the restaurant prayer cards? How did you know we went to that restaurant? I was like, I didn't know you went there. I didn't know anything. She said, yeah, we went there yesterday, which was Sunday. And I said, did you have the prayer cards that I gave you? She said, yeah, 50 of them. She said that she handed some out. She even had a few extra. Well, she goes and she gets them and she calls me. And the prayer cards, the custom prayer cards that I had ordered from a third-party company, they were exactly the same, identical. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. I'm like, return address? She said no. But the post, you know, like when it goes to the post office, was a zip code that wasn't near either of us. So I was like, or the company I ordered it from, like totally different county. I was like, this is really weird. Only 50 prayer cards were ever ordered. Custom prayer cards were ever ordered. Family picked them up on Friday. They had their celebration on Sunday. They handed some out. They had a few extra. Monday morning rolls around and there is 50 identical prayer cards that show up to the restaurant that they only chose on Saturday night. Me and Ida's daughter have literally exhausted any, even the wildest, craziest reason how this could happen. It's impossible.
There was a lot going on with that clip. So in summary, this chick works for a funeral home, ordered some prayer cards, ordered 50 of them, custom prayer cards. Apparently those prayer cards got shipped to some restaurant anonymously that she never shipped them to, and she only ordered 50 of them. This restaurant contacts her like, why'd you send us these prayer cards? She's like, wait a minute, I didn't send you no prayer cards. But the people that was going to the funeral for the person that deceased ended up at that restaurant and contacted her like, why'd you send them prayer cards? She's like, wait, first of all, how'd you know I was at the restaurant? Second of all, I didn't send them no prayer cards. They had the 50 that she sent them, the only 50 she ever made, and they were at the restaurant with those 50. Anyway, it was weird, like, interesting story. I followed it the best I could, but I don't know. You might have to hit rewind on this one.
She saw it.
Two-headed deer. Never thought I'd see it in the wild. It's incredible. How is it still alive?
In the video, we can see clearly what appears to be a two-headed deer, when all of a sudden, if you observe closely, one of the heads completely disappears. The video amassed millions of views and thousands of comments, and people were completely baffled. An opening that we can see between the deer and the tree, and if there were a second deer behind the tree, we would be able to see it coming and going from this opening, but it doesn't happen.
One deer, two heads, and tell us not. Pretty compelling. Now they try to debunk it, be like, oh, there was a deer behind a tree that was coming around the tree and eating as well, you know, beside this deer, and it just looked like one deer with two heads, but they broke it down, and they zoomed in the whole time the deer was eating and moving his head, and there was never a time when you could see between the animal and the tree. There was never a time where there was anything else obstructing that. So there was nothing coming from behind the tree. So pretty interesting little glitch in the matrix, if that's indeed what this is.
Hello, chickies. Hi, babies. Oh, goodness. Where y'all going? Where are you going? You ready for some grubs? Let's go. It's grub time. What the fool? Why are they all not moving? What is happening right now? Babies? Guys, did I do something? Nick! What the? Oh my God!
I don't know. These chickens was tripping. That's weird.
I have a daughter who turned 6 months 3 days ago. She has an R name. First letter is an R. About 4 months ago, I had a very, very vivid dream that she didn't exist, and that instead of having her, my fiance and I decided that we were going to foster, and it was for a baby girl, and her name was a very uncommon R name as well. She was like the same age as my daughter, same size, she looked exactly the same. And in this dream, she eventually had to go back to her parents, like reunification, whatever. And I remember asking the social worker in my dream, like, why can't we keep her? This isn't fair. I've raised her. She's like a daughter to me. She would get along so well with my daughter. And the social worker looks me in the eye and goes, don't you talk about my daughter. Here, she does not exist. And then I woke up. This dream was so vivid that for the past 4 months since I've had it, I say probably once or twice a week to my fiance, I wonder how she's doing. So we go to the library today. That baby was there. She was there. Like I said to my fiance last night, I wonder how that baby is doing. And she was there. It gets weirder. She's with her grandparents. And Grandpa says, oh yeah, she just had her first birthday. I said, oh, that's really sweet. He goes, yeah, she had her first birthday 3 days ago. She is exactly 6 months older than my 6-month-old daughter. She is exactly double her age. This little baby could not leave me alone. Like, she wanted nothing to do with her older sister who was there, nothing to do with Grandma and Grandpa. She was magnetic to me. Like, chills. If anybody has an explanation on what that was that like a sign? Was that two timelines folding together? Was it me getting my wishes answered on making sure that she was okay? Was that a glitch in the Matrix type thing? Like, somebody, anybody, please help, because I'm so happy she's okay, but also, what?
So her story to me is really fascinating, and it's I don't know, like she said, anybody got some answers for me? I'm with her on that. Like, that's just strange. You had a dream about this child you never met, that wasn't your child, that you adopted in your dream to raise as your child. Then they try to take the child away, and then a week later you run into that child in real life with the same name and cling to you. Like, fascinating story. How valid it is, I have no idea, but very fascinating. But anyway, y'all, thank you for being here. That's the end of this. So I'm hoping that you liked my new little twist on my season 2 style of recording these videos, my reactions. I'm trying to do them all in a 3-part session. Like, you know, part 1, part 2, part 3. They won't always be the same, you know, same 3 parts as far as like, okay, conspiracy theories or Unexplained or Mandela Effect, whatever. It'll be 3 separate parts each week, multiple times each week, based on something different. But anyway, if you liked this new style, please let me know, because my whole point to all of this is trying to create a channel that you, the consumer, my customer, my subscribers, my friends, my fam, what y'all like to see. Let me know the content y'all like to see. Please put it in the comments. That way I know, so I can start catering my videos to you. But until then, take a look at this here video, which will be a nice little list of some of my other reactions. All right, I love y'all. My free life. I'm Sax. I'm out, y'all. Peace.